TaylorMade R7 Quad Mini. I'm going to leave the head cover on it for a minute. What a thing of beauty. Give me your thoughts and feelings.
Well, so I'm going to start negative. I don't think the head cover is a thing of beauty, but I'll get onto that. But yeah, so TaylorMade, godfather of the mini driver category, do you think?
Yes, because they did the Mini 300.
They had the original one, the SLDR Mini, the BRNR Mini. I love what they do. I love how they sort of take this category and just use it as an excuse to have a bit of fun and delve back in their archives and bring back some retro stuff. I really like, it's just a fun way to be able to do that. And the designers must really like that idea, going back and thinking, well, what should we do next? And that got me thinking as to what I would want next, but I'll talk about more of that at the end. In terms of its actual performance, not much has changed, truth be told, from the BRNR Copper Mini that I've had in my bag for ages. All the numbers I was getting in terms of like a neutral setting, we'll talk about the weights in a second, very similar. Same head size, same profile.
It's got all the same tech in it, right?
All the same tech to an extent, bar these new adjustable weights, which we'll talk about in a minute, which make it the R7 Quad. Equally good off the fairway, and the tee, which is something I really like about this mini driver. There's a couple of the minis I found that perform better in one or the other area. Head cover. So I gave this a really, really good review in Golf Monthly. I gave it 96% and said it was going straight in my bag. And the people of TaylorMade, someone from TaylorMade, one of my friends who I get on with very well from TaylorMade, immediately texted me and said, "What's wrong with the head cover?" I was like, I'm giving it 96% and said it's going straight in my bag, and you're worried about the one thing.
No, but I get that, because I think TaylorMade are quite like, oh, that's very hairy. That's the bottom of the head cover for those listening. Excuse me.
Those on audio.
Forget this on audio. I think because it's the styling and the retro, and really the whole point of it is to wheel out another.
You made
it's
a terrible
all over
mistake
me,
there,
mate.
haven't you?
I've twisted the head cover inside out.
Go back the other way to start with, because you've ruined the surprise there, haven't you? So for those watching, Dan has flipped it inside out, because that's what TaylorMade do with a lot of their mini driver head covers, to create a couple of options for you. From the outside, what do you think of that head cover? Because I'm a bit...
I love it. I love R7. It wasn't really my era, because this was 2004, right? The R7 Quad first came out. But my mate, Kieran, still carries, he pinched them from the back of an American Golf we both worked in. I think above board. If it's not, it's too late now. It's closed down. A 3-wood and a 5-wood in the original R7, still got them in his bag because he can't be bothered to upgrade.
Yeah.
They are battered. So I see this a lot. I see this colour a lot when I play with him, and I really like it.
I just think this one for me is just a little bit in your face. The yellow and red diagonal stripes just scream a bit too try-hard to me. The massive splodge of yellow on the top and the R7. It's fine. Like, it's not offensive. It does the job. It tells you it's retro. Yeah, but Dan's just pointed at the BRNR Copper Mini.
Which looks better. I'm in agreement with you.
Oh, right, there you go.
Yeah, I'm in total agreement with you.
Sorry, I thought you were saying, well, if you think that's too much, then that... Yeah, so the BRNR Copper Mini, nice brown leather, a bit more understated. That's more in your face, which will suit loads of people. But as Dan's already done, you can flip it inside out.
I'm not doing it again.
He's not going to do it again because he's covered in fluff, and it's got like a black and white checkerboard pattern.
They love doing that, TaylorMade, a little Easter egg, you could call it.
Yeah, that's what they call it, isn't it? Yeah, and I quite like the concept, but I would never have it that way around. No. Even if I didn't like this, I just don't like to think of my clubs... I don't want them rubbing up against the harsh leather. You want them snug and looked after by the furry bit inside, didn't you? That's now all over your jumper.
Stay at me. You've got a lint roller.
So the main difference being the 4 adjustable weights on the sole, as it was with R7 Quad. R7 Quad as a driver was the first commercially available adjustable weight driver. So that's what we've got here. We've got 4 weights. We've got 2 pretty central at the back and 2 spread a little bit wider apart at the front. So what you can do here, which you could do in the BRNR Copper Mini, you can switch the weights around between front and back to create different MOI, different CG locations and different spin profiles. But as you could in the R7 Quad, which you can't with the Copper Mini, is you can move them around to create some fade or draw bias, which is something that I hadn't even thought was necessarily missing from the Copper Mini, but in hindsight, it's really useful and it's very effective. You can really see it. And I see a lot of people who are using mini drivers to produce a specific shape. Scott Fawcett from Decade Golf is a big proponent of having a driver for a fade and a mini driver for a draw to keep you further down the fairway, but with some different shape options. If you're playing a course that's tree lined with dog legs, etc., that would suit that. This makes that significantly easier if you want to pop that in the drawer setting, or if you're someone who wants to go the opposite route and have something that cuts, or you're fighting a hook, you've got the option to kind of do whatever you want with that. And I think it's really, really cool. I've got not much more to say on the performance.
Because on the performance, it is, and I'm fine with this, ostensibly the same as the BRNR Mini Copper, because they can't do much to it. It's got the infinity crown this time, but it's still got the speed pocket, it's still got the twist face. It's pretty much the same build.
See, I sound contradictory here in that sometimes what I level at some of the Titleist product from time to time, I think stays a little bit samey.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just kind of rebadged very subtly, like a Vokey Wedge or Scotty Cameron, and the same thing potentially is coming out with not much of a performance difference. That's kind of what I'm saying here. But what I like about this is they go to the trouble from a design point of view to reimagine it, give it a facelift, change the look. Someone who might not have liked that copper sort of colour scheme might be able to get kind of the exact same playing characteristics. It was something that they love now with the infinity crown and a bit of a cleaner top. So if you're going to keep the product pretty similar, that's cool. If it works, absolutely. But I just like reimagining it and putting a little bit more into it.
The Mini driver is the perfect canvas to throw anything you want in it. It's a bit of fun. It ain't going to cost your company millions of dollars if it goes wrong. If it goes right, great. Everyone's talking about it. They're going to do it again and again and again, and I absolutely love them for that. They can't do it with their main driver line or their main woods line because that's the bread and butter of the company. This isn't.
Yeah, you chuck an experimental one in the driver line, you could go under, can you?
S would hit. Exactly. So you can't, but you can with this, and I absolutely love them for it. And it brings me on to something like what they're going to do next.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what I have. I've got two in mind that I'd love to see next, but one might not be old enough. The Sim, I'd love to see a Sim Mini. That's a cult classic.
Needs a few more years.
I think it needs more time.
Yeah. People are still knocking around with them in their bag, you know what I mean?
About 2017, going at 8 years now.
Still feels modern to me, mate.
2017 M2, that's my era though. Because like the other ones have been done. The SLDR's been done. The Aeroburner's been done.
Can I give a shout out to the RBZ? Bring back that white crown. That was my third. That again,
Rocket Balls Mini.
The thing with a Rocket Balls Mini would be so pure. The thing is with all of this is it's about your era, and nostalgia is such a funny thing. And I love how more golf brands are leaning into nostalgia at the minute because I'm a nostalgic person. It's fun. The RBZ for me, the Rocket Balls, the hybrid was the first proper club I had bought for me. So I've got a lot of emotional attachment to that. So would love to see that. But there'll be people out there watching and listening who have, might be a bit younger than me somehow, might be a bit older than me. What would you want from your era? Is what I'm saying.
I don't think Persimmon would go well in a mini driver. There might be some.
Good humour. So for me, it's RBZ.
I like that. I think,
and that's old enough. That's now over 10 years old.
That's old enough, and that buys a bit of time. Then a couple more years will have passed when we can do Sim then, or 2017 M2.
So let's think about it. BRNR Mini Copper, which I'm pointing out there, that was off the not the Aero burner. That was off the burner bubble, which was 96.
I would say. I remember Tom Lehman 96.
This is 04.
Yeah.
Realistically, what's next in the line? Like R11. I can see a white crown coming back next. I'll tell you, in 2 years' time, we're going to be sat here, hopefully, God willing, with a white crown.
Talking health-wise or cancelling the podcast?
I didn't mean health-wise.
Looking
you up and down going,
you hadn't told me something.
If you make it big, man.
Yeah. No, I think you're right.
I think we'll see a white crown of some sort.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely bang. I'm ashamed that I missed RBZ because I loved my RBZ stuff.
It was good. It was really good stuff as well. I think there's a decent amount of nostalgia knocking around for that. It's good stuff. Well done, TaylorMade. I love it. I love what they're doing with that.